Hello, this is the video walkthrough and explainer video for DigitalDirectLLC.com. It's very informal, very different from the information that you'll find in the description of the listing. This is just something where I can voice, the positives and negatives of the business. How it's changed my life and contributed to my growth. What it's like to work with the clients, what the business focuses on as far as driving revenues, the benefits of the very high profit margins, how I work to get it at that position. We're also going to be doing a preemptive strike on some of the things that may be most important to you, such as the live login that you can see here with Stripe, which has a few of the payments that have been processed during these time frames, which you can see on the right-hand side, as well as moving into Google Analytics and kind of talking about what the direction is there. Giving you some details, and then looking at the website itself and how it's evolved and where I see it going, or where I've intended for it to go in the future. So those are some of the things. And basically, what I'm going to be doing is trying to provide you with as much information as I can, and I'll try and stay organized, and I'll try and keep things under 20 minutes long. I'll try and keep them under 10 minutes long. I understand your time is valuable, and because I'm in consulting in both IT and business strategy, I can perpetually digress about pretty much anything in those fields. So I'll try and keep things, within some time constraints and really go over the meat and potatoes, if you will. Okay, so what we're looking at here is, you can see business name here, Digital Direct. This was the old logo. And then we're going to be looking at, you can see some of the values here. These aren't all the transactions. As it's notated here, this doesn't even include, what I've made on Flippa, which you'll also get training in. You'll get training on how, Flippa best practices, what direction Flippa's going towards, and how you can contribute to the health of the marketplace. And last month we started working on something before I decided, okay, maybe it's best if I go in a different direction. We started building 50 businesses per month. Okay, and we do that with several blocks of rotating inventories, and then with some easy ways to customize each website so it's entirely unique, but so you don't have to start totally from scratch. That way you can provide an amazing product that to the Flippa user is simple, that they can jump right into and pick up, and basically the concept behind the businesses that I design is that I make them difficult to fail. Okay, so I do high profit margins, and I do very simple website designs, and then I try and implement designs that are appealing to the eye, as well as implementing like cutting edge animations and different things to kind of compensate for the minimalistic design, if that makes sense. So what we intended to do was start building 50 per month, okay, and contributing to Flippa in that way. Providing these businesses and selling them to people in a very simple way, and the businesses themselves being very simple. Perhaps we could start or do our part of providing the customer a positive experience. Some of my clients on Flippa just not long ago, bought a website off of me, and immediately, same day, started seeing sales. And that's what our business with Flippa is all about. Okay, so there will be training in that, and yeah, so there will be a lot of that, and those transactions are not here through Skype or Stripe. We only use escrow on there. So Just trying to do a live login here so you can see that transactions do come in. Um, this business has slowed down in sales due to my employment, and in the description I've described how I'm taking all of the skills that this business has taught me and I'm beginning to implement them in the brick and mortar world. So I'm starting to do advertising management and social media marketing and web design and business strategy for brick and mortar businesses because those are the ones that need it the most. That's where I can leave the most impact and reap the best rewards, really. Within my local city, I'm starting to make a footprint for myself. So that's the reason I'm selling the business, and that's the reason that sales have slowed down. And then, I've also used several different payment facilitators in the past, but I've just most recently started using Stripe, and I recommend that you do the same as well. I've used Escrow and several different payment facilitators, and most of them are not very fun to deal with. But Stripe is absolutely amazing. Flippa Escrow and Stripe, and I don't, that's from an unbiased perspective. You know, as much as it can be. But Flippa's Escrow is great. It's very timely, I think is the right way to say. Escrow.com, they used to do business with them, I'm aware of. And I've used it for my own private transactions, and it's so slow. And there's so many hoops to jump through for, an $800 transaction or something. It's too much. But Stripe is the way to go. Here on the left-hand side, you can see transactions coming in. And I've set this notepad here to protect client information. On the right-hand side, you can see 4 months of transaction history here. So $250 payment this month. We'll have another one, and then I may just go ahead and push the stop button. There will be another $250 transaction that comes in here after less than a week or so. Will be another one. Then we have some 125s here. 250 and a 500. Okay, so that gives you February, March, April, and May. Okay, so that should be more than enough to, give you some insight to show you that this is a real business that has turned over real profit. And I also have, I have tons of other, documents at my discretion, screenshots and emails and different things like that. So if you're a serious investor, you can reach me, and we'll go over my email here in a minute, but you can reach me and we can kind of talk about, what your ideas are, what it is that you need from me, and so on and so forth. So hopefully that, I figured that this would be a very clean and sleek way to address the first and foremost most important thing. I do want to touch on this here. It says failed. This is just a client that I tried to just do this little thing for, provide them with something really, really on sale, and they just weren't understanding it, and they were having some troubles, and I really don't know what they were, but for some reason they just weren't able to process the transaction. I don't even remember if I ever converted them. I was just trying to do them a favor by giving them a major discount on something. I don't even remember what it was, but that's the reason you see those there. And then you've got this information here, and you can total it up there. The total amount of transactions would be 1,000, like 1,500. That's not bad. That's much lower than what I do typically, and also what I do typically is much lower than what can be done, if that makes sense. Like I say in the description, I haven't even touched the gas for this business. I have not tried to push this in any way, shape, or form. Basically, I've just been kind of carving it out of clay, if that makes sense. Really setting the fundamentals and identifying the ideals, basically drawing up the business. And I think honestly it's the perfect time to pass the torch. I'm ready to move on and do different things, and I've done all of the hard work for you. So if you're looking for a business that has had all the fundamentals put in place, has had all the planning done, has some inventory, has some A1 clients already in line, these different things, all of the hard parts of starting a business. If you're looking to buy into a business where all that hard stuff has been done, then look no further. You cannot find a better business, because this is all A1, very straightforward, very direct. Everything's been done. All you have to do is grow it, and you get hands-on training in every formality of growth. Advertising management. We'll get into that stuff here in a moment. Okay, so then we're going to be looking at Google Analytics. Here on Google Analytics, I haven't driven much traffic to the website. I actually just redesigned the whole website, and I got rid of all the old pages. It was very word heavy, a lot of stock business photos, and different things like that. And I've really taken it in a different direction, because the new direction that I've taken it in will convert sales. And you can start to drive traffic consistently day after day to the website now, and actually sell sites, ready-made sites, on autopilot. Clients can just download them and then deploy them themselves, and those packages have been set up. The training videos are all set up. Everything is set up about that, and I'll get into that in a moment as well. Here you can see some growth. We're looking at April 15th to May 28th today. You can see some growth in traffic, even though I haven't put any focus into driving traffic to the website. I have placed all my focus on like selling in marketplaces and advertising to companies directly and different things like that. So most of it's been offline marketing or off-site marketing. A lot of conversions have happened in email. Invoices are going to email and things of that nature. But here you can see there is growth, really without even trying. So if you were to put your foot on the gas, especially with the new website design, you'll be able to convert sales very well. Okay, the way that this website is designed is absolutely over the top immaculate. It classifies customers based on what they're looking for. It's sleek and beautiful, and it gets them to where they need to go, right? So a lot of customers already have projects. For instance, one customer I've had over a portfolio of over 50 websites, and they weren't making any money, and there were thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in the black, in the negative. And we needed to get them in the black, and not only in the black, but set up a strategy so that they could start profiting and make up for that lost time. And for a customer like that, what they would need is consultation, right? So now they can go ask questions. Excuse me on that, just some Facebook interrupting me. Learning more, you can learn a little bit about the company and things like that. My opinion on this, there's an About Me section that we'll get to in a moment. Some people may want to change this. I don't see that it's necessary. All the information has pertained to the business as an entity, and we can just leave it as such. I don't think that you need to change any of the copywriting on this page. I would leave it where it is, and then go out and make your own accolades and make your own achievements, and then you can add those to the copywriting. So ready-made sites. So here you can see, let's just look at it again. Here you can see you know, I've gotten to know this business. I know what the customer, who the customers are, and what they're looking for, and how to talk to them. Okay, so I know that there are people with low budgets who want to get started now, and they want to get started for, you know, a low dollar amount, and they need something simple that's only a couple pages and that they can manage, and that's, you know, set up in such a way that it's difficult for them to fail. Well, ready-made websites. And, you know, if you're to go there, we'll click on all the buttons here in a moment, but there's also custom websites. So it's not uncommon to have someone hit your website and for them to have a budget of 4K, 6K, up to 14K. You know, that's run-of-the-mill stuff. So for someone to advertise this website, you're going to get a lot of those people with a lot of budget, right? And you can handle the work yourself, and I can help you handle the work, and the work can be done, you know, with one or two people, and maybe outsourcing to some small companies if need be for specific programming and things like that. But it's not uncommon to have people come across your desk with a large budget, and for that they would go to custom websites. And then, you know, the consulting thing we've already done. Learn more, find out, and click here. Go to the same place. So let's start there. About us. We have experience and certifications in everything from AdWords to full stack development. Now, if you read in the description in the listing, you will get training on all of these things, and you will become an expert very quickly. The thing that makes becoming an expert in these things difficult is that there's no one out there who's willing to help you for free, right? Including me. But if you purchase the business, then I've made all the money that I need to dedicate my time to training you on how to fill my shoes, as it were, right? So you don't need to worry about, oh, okay, so I'm a nurse, or I'm a doctor who's just looking to, you know, start his portfolio, or it's something I'm really interested in, or what have you. You don't need any previous technical expertise. I'm going to teach you everything you need to know. And in the description, you'll see what's included, and the training is the most important thing. You know, you have free hosting in the domain and the website, and the extra websites that come along with it, the ready-mades that you can sell. You know, and in any bonuses that I decide to include. But the most important thing is the training. I'm going to train you how to do AdWords, and what steps to take to become a Google partner, and how to become a full stack developer, how to get your certification as an AWS solutions architect, for which the standard salary just for an AWS solutions provider is like 130, 140K a year, right? So the entire premise behind this business is to put yourself in the remarkably advantageous position of making a lot of money to learn about all these different things, to research all these different things, to learn about business, to become certified in AWS, and to become a full stack developer. Full stack developer average salary is 120K a year. You know, how to become a Google partner so that you can manage people's ads, how to become a Facebook certified professional. All these different things are things that you're going to be able to do by putting yourself in the position to run this business. And you're going to make a lot of money learning to do these things. And then when you learn to do these things, you can make a lot more money. And then when you become certified, you can make even more money. And that's all without going out there in the real world, right? So I've done all these things, and now I'm going to go out in the real world. And you can do the same thing by picking up where I left off and growing this business beyond. And you can, you know, if you decide at some point you're going to travel the same route as me, only in your own city, then, you know, you can sell the business then. Okay, so all of these things, don't worry about them. I'm going to teach you how to do all of this stuff. All right, so ready-made sites. We'll just go ahead and go over the rest of the home page here, and then we'll go over these 3 pages. Very, very simple. They're just funnel focused. They're all about getting you to the checkout line, and that's it. That's what works. In my professional opinion, throughout all the experience that I've had, it's not big fancy websites with tens of thousands of products. That does not work. And that pretty much every time that I've come across that, those clients have failed. What works is rock bottom, simple, strategic design that is funnel focused, right? Customers come in the top, they hit your website, they immediately know where to go, and everything is pulled back, minimalistic, out of the way, and gets them to the checkout button, right? So that's what this is all about. Consultation, we kind of talk about some things here, give the direct email as well as provide the custom solution and consultation, fill out form. They can reach out to you there. There's no shortage of ways for them to reach out to you. There's nothing that really gets in the way. So let's look over these here. They open in new tabs. Give that just a moment to load up there. We've got the explainer video that talks about the ready-made website. Just a brief description here, some positive points, some selling points, and then the buy now button. And then when they go to this, they can check out. It's $2.99. You can change the price. I definitely would bump those up to maybe $4.99 or $5.99. The customer enters their information, and then when they check out, it automatically routes them to their download. Okay, so what they'll get is the website files in a clean file folder. It's not one of those things like where you go buy 1,000 websites from eBay and you have no clue what goes where. This is not like that. This is a very sleek and simple and very strategic way of selling a turnkey business. Okay, so they will get all their website files, they will get a README, and they will get the supplier information. Okay, so it's basically everything in a clean format that is, there's a video tutorial that shows them how to deploy their website. There's nothing that you need to do, nothing that you need to change, nothing that you need to facilitate. You're not going to get emails saying, I couldn't do this, or I couldn't do that, or something happened. None of that's going to happen. This is airtight. And that being said, if you ever find any kind of spelling mistakes, or you do find any kind of errors, just let me know, and I will come in and I will change it. I will fix it, right? I will make it right, and I will, I've had a lot of clients accidentally wipe the site, and then I have to come in and restore it. And while that can be very tedious, and oftentimes I do it for no extra money, and that's, time spent is money spent, I have no problem coming in and fixing it up right, especially for this sale. Guys, this business is my baby. This business has changed my life. I will never be the same. And if I didn't strive to create this business, my life would not nearly be as high quality as it is, or as it's going to be. My future looks very bright. And it's all due to the blood, sweat, and tears that I put into this business. And the things that I've learned have made me invaluable. Okay, so let's get back to this here. We're looking at custom wall decals. So you've got your men's watches, you've got your custom wall decals, which appeals to, it's unisex. Then you've got your SEO startup, which is a bit of a higher price point. But you got your drop shipping, and then a startup company that sells a digital product. Okay, so wall decals, you've got your explainer video, the description, the selling points, and then it goes to the checkout page, which again, when you check out, this will automatically route them to the download. And the download also includes, a video on how to deploy the package, how to customize it, change the usernames, change the password, use your own domain, how to rebrand it, how do you get a different logo. Those things are touched on in those downloads, okay? So there's nothing that you need to do. It's just ready for traffic. Okay, let's go to SEO startup. And I think I've made some good time. I think I've made really good time. So this is the last one, and you've got your explainer video, description, selling points, and your checkout page. And guys, that's it. And that's all you'll ever need. Nothing else needs to be changed. The business, in a nutshell, doesn't need change. The website doesn't need changed. You're going to get training on AdWords. You're going to get training on becoming a Facebook professional. Every annoying task has been done by me already. All the blood, sweat, and tears have been invested. And I've made a lot of money doing it. But you're going to make a lot more than I did. And yes, it can be a bit bittersweet for me. I was just thinking about it last night, why don't I continue to grow it? But for me, this isn't it for me, right? And what this business has contributed to me in my life, it can also contribute to someone else's life. And in doing so, it will grow from where I've grown it and to where they'll take it. And, when and if and when they decide to sell it, it'll help another person, and it'll continue to grow from there. And, hopefully change some lives and make some people some money. I find that I'm starting to make a lot of money when I lend myself to other people. When I become fully employed on people's projects and really lend my thoughts and critiques and different things like that, and constructive ideas on how to make their business more profitable and things like that, I find that I make more money. So, take it for what it's worth, I suppose, but everything's here. You've got your fully automated portion here, which will, market to these types of people. It's sort of a bucket to catch all those with a low budget, which that has been the most tedious thing, is to do custom builds for people with only 300, 500, $800. I have a hard time letting those people go. So, it's good to have something like this. I wish I would have had something like this set up and ready to go as it is now. But that will convert those people. And then the custom projects is where all the fun is had and where all the dough is made, so that's there as well. The consultation, that's really fun as well. I love diving into people's projects and really having my opinions valued. So that is there as well, and you can get paid for that. I will only be going into the very, very detailed things with the winner of the auction. It just has to be that way. I'm not going to talk to you about price points for consultation. I'm not going to talk to you about how to close a custom website sale. I'm not going to talk to you about where I market and what marketplaces I use and what platforms I use to find customers and different things like that. I'm not going to talk about those details. And honestly, I think that I've given enough details in this one video for pretty much anybody. So that's what it is. The business is extremely straightforward. There's nothing underneath the hood that you need to know as a potential buyer. And if you find that you do need something that I haven't answered, absolutely reach out to me at management@digitaldirectllc.com, and I'll be absolutely thrilled to field those questions as they come in. All right, guys. Well, that's it for this one, and I will see you in the next one.